Was this what you were expecting from Liverpool? They were great going forward, and we know that Galatasaray are pretty poor away from home.
Yeah, it was. They got off on the right foot. They created a lot of good chances. Ekitike had the performance, I thought, fantastic performance. Mo Salah missed about 1,000 chances in front of goal. They were quicker, stronger. It was one-way traffic for the whole game. Galatasaray, for me, I'll never understand how they play away from home. Lost, confused. They couldn't make more than 4 passes. I think that's not a really good way to play away from home against Anfield. I think you have to open up. You have to play. You have to be brave, and you can't play 90 minutes at Anfield like that in a shell where you can't defend. You're facing your own goal. Balls are coming into your box the whole time. So eventually, Liverpool grew into the game and showed their quality, and then it was not a contest for me.
No, I totally agree with that. Obviously, for me personally, I had a wonderful wager behind the scenes with our boss, who now, for the next 6 weeks, has to call me boss now that Liverpool came in. So,
isn't it?
Yeah, the boss. So I really enjoyed it. Look, we've seen it over the course of this competition where Galatasaray at home are a completely different animal, that atmosphere, the intensity that they bring. But away from home, they saw it against Juventus. It just didn't feel right the way that they play. Scared is the wrong one, but they go into their shell. They don't have this life, and Liverpool were fantastic. Szoboszlai and Ekitike for me were levels above everybody
Let's talk a bit more about Ekitike. It was a fabulous game for him. He looked really dangerous going forward. There were some missed opportunities, but when he got his chance, he put it in the back of the net.
Big fan of Ekitike from the start of the season when he came to Liverpool. He's got this arrogance about him. He's got this edge to be a real special player. Still finding his feet in the Premier League, still finding his feet at Liverpool Football Club, but he's definitely been one of the bright sparks and bonuses of this recent transfer window. I still think there's a lot to come from this young man. Still can definitely improve and get better in big moments and big spots.
Yeah, I think as well, just on that, he's showing you everything of his game. Obviously, the goals help, but the link-up play, he's getting it deeper now. He's slipping balls in for Salah. He's making opportunities for other people. And when you think they brought in Isak as well, I know everyone's forgotten about him because of the broken leg, but he'll be back in the next few weeks as well. So just think of what Liverpool have going forward. But I think this guy now has a chip on his shoulder, to Nigel's point, but a good one, not an arrogance that I deserve to play. He's got so many levels to climb at Liverpool, so many levels to climb with the national team. The ceiling for this guy could be frightening.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, what he's got to understand is at Liverpool, he's not the main man yet. Does he have the talent and potential to be? Yeah, he wants to be the main man. If you look at how he's been at other clubs, he's been the main man. He's been that guy, and he loves it and he embraces it. At Liverpool, he's not the main man yet. He's still working up to that. And if he keeps developing his game, being more clinical, being that main guy that they can rely on, that difference maker, then he will become that main man. And he's a type of player that embraces that kind of pressure, and he's not going to shy away from it. And he loves it. He loves the limelight like that.
I know Isak's injured, but has that competition helped him? As Nigel rightly says, he's been the main man playing in France and the previous clubs he's been at. Now he's got the competition. He had to prove himself, and this season he's done that. He's the better of the two signings. He is, but the Isak injury, I think, changes a little bit for me. But competition is important in a club. It keeps everyone on their toes. It keeps everyone, obviously with their levels high. But for me, I like his game because he can do other things. He can do things outside the box. He can go around players. We don't show his best little play, but the one where he slows down and boom, changes gears and goes by guys. Really smooth. So for sure, competition is important. For sure, he's an important piece of what they do. But when Isak comes back, we'll see. We'll see how they go. I could say he could play outside of the striker position. Yeah, he could play behind the striker. He could play on the wing as well. He's got a really good skill set. He did that
for a lot of time at Frankfurt as well. He played out on the left, so you could actually have a scenario where he's on the left with Isak through the middle and Wirtz just behind him. But there's a lot of options, and I think the disjointed summer that Liverpool had we haven't seen the best of any of these players just yet.
What's the saying? Death, taxes, and Galatasaray falling apart away from home. They were awful, weren't they, Nigel?
Or you doing half a shift. Anyway,
I just teed you up for that one.
Yeah, you teed me up for that one perfectly well, mate. Your socks are going to start running down. This is Galatasaray's momentum chart, and I think for me, they were just awful. There's no way to hide about it. I think when you look at that performance overall, there isn't one positive aspect we can say about Galatasaray. They were definitely a different team when Osimhen had that issue early on in the game, whether it was...
Wouldn't have mattered.
Whether if it wasn't a broken hand wave, but Osimhen was not the same as well in that game.
No, he never played the game.
He never played the game.
Was wrong.
And I think the frustrating thing is you said something one time that makes sense to us as ex-players. how you start the game, the mental side of the game plays a big part. If you start on a positive front foot, you show you're not scared or intimidated, you don't make any silly mistakes, your opponents are going to know, oh, we're in for a game. But if you start being negative and you turn and you look nervous on the ball and you start passing back, especially being at Anfield, you're in for a long night. And that's what I saw at Galatasaray. There was a lot of times they looked forward, they turned and passed back. And Liverpool players are always going to sense that. The Anfield crowd grows and starts making more noise. They're going to start pressing on the front foot, tackles. There was nothing positive about Galatasaray's performance or anything good we can take from that.
Look at that stat there, though, Nudge. Lost 21 of 26. What is it mentally that changes? Because this isn't a tactical thing now when you lose that many games away from home. They're going into games, it feels like they've already lost.
I mean, they were winning from the first leg.
But we saw it with Juventus. Forget this game as well. Look at Juventus. Juventus have played for 10 men and still took them to extra time. They just, I don't know, it's like when they're not at home, they don't have this aura about them. It's kind of like a fear that goes around the whole team. It's like, who's going to be the one to put their foot on the ball? Who's going to be the one to look after it? Everyone just looks scared. The keeper, by the way, was fantastic.
Yeah, he's
fantastic, and they still let him fall.
Yeah.
It could have been 11 tonight.
It would have been
easily.
10 if they didn't have the keeper.
Wow, that's for Newcastle.
The Redmen have won. They have won in style. Jamie, you must be a happy man. Are Liverpool back?
Liverpool are back on the march, as we say in these regions. Nico, definitely brilliant performance, best performance of the season, and probably one of the best European nights under Arne Slot. I just need a drink. My throat's a bit funny.
Jamie, what are you drinking?
It's water, but in about half an hour, when you let me go, it'll be a beer.
You're all right, mate.
Go on, we're off. We're ready to go.
Jamie, being on site there, was there any player for Liverpool that specifically stood out for you that had a great game today?
Szoboszlai, the energy of him was fantastic, and we were sat just behind the bench. So, as you know, when you sat in the stand, it looks an easy game. When you sat down so low, and the view of the managers really, and he was fantastic. The energy he put into the game, the vital first goal as well. And listen, right now he's Liverpool's best player by far, and I think I did an interview with him after the game and mentioned about the position, and for me that's his best position, not just midfield, that's sort of inside right, probably where Steven Gerrard used to like playing really, but he's got great energy to still help out wide as well, but he wants to be in the centre of things.
Yeah, Jamie, we saw Arne Slot more animated than ever. It was a big week for him, wasn't it, after the Spurs draw, which kind of felt like a loss. How did you see him today? Was he animated to get the fan base on side, or was he generally worried for his job and where he's at this moment in time?
I think it was probably the second one. That's exactly what I was thinking. I had a great view of the Galatasaray manager and Slot. And listen, I'm not down there every week, so I don't know what Arne Slot's like every week, but he didn't stop talking to the fourth official or screaming at him or shouting at him. And the Galatasaray manager was exactly the same. I'm thinking, how are they watching the game? How are they seeing what's going on? Because it was just constant mind games to try and get decisions from the officials. But it did make me think he was feeling the heat a little bit, which is totally understandable, because, as I said, this season hasn't gone well. I interviewed him after the game and spoke about why we've seen a performance like that tonight, but we've not seen that once before all season, which was a complete performance from Liverpool in terms of offensively, defensively, controlling the game, and a typical European night at Anfield where it's just wave after wave of attack and winning the ball back quickly, and we just haven't seen that enough.
Jamie, I know you're at Anfield and you watched the Liverpool game, but did you catch any of the Newcastle game? You have any thoughts on it?
I caught a little bit of the Newcastle game, and you know what? For long periods, they were in that game. I know the score doesn't look great, and I'd be really disappointed to concede 7 goals away at the Nou Camp anyhow. But his only consolation is it was 7-2. It wasn't 7-0 like the last Englishman to go there, Gary Neville, for Valencia, lost 7-0. So on that plane on the way home, we can just, rest his head, sit back, think of how close we were to getting results after about an hour, 70 minutes, and just think, it could be worse. I could be Gary Neville.
That's absolutely brutal.
Jamie, just looking ahead now, though, again, we talk about Real Madrid and what they do in this competition. Obviously, Liverpool have that same aura. Do you have more confidence now that you could go all the way in this competition, or is that just, way out of the realm of possibilities?
I've always felt Liverpool could do well in Europe because I think the players are more suited to, the more technical game of the Champions League and less hurly-burly of the Premier League, because they've really struggled with that. And in the main, Liverpool have coped really well in the Champions League, but Liverpool were top of the Champions League group stage last season. They were fantastic, ended up playing Paris Saint-Germain, and we know what happened there and what Paris Saint-Germain did, especially in the second half of the season. They've got Paris Saint-Germain again. I don't think Liverpool are playing at the same level as they did last season, but if what we saw tonight is a snapshot of what we will see in the two legs against Paris Saint-Germain, I think Liverpool can give them a real game and really push them, as they did, we shouldn't forget, last season.
All right, Jamie was doing God's work at Anfield because he was talking to absolutely everybody, including Dominik Szoboszlai. Let's take a listen.
Dominik Szoboszlai, there was lots of people tonight who maybe could have got man of the match, but it went to you. I thought you were absolutely fantastic. And in that midfield role, more than the right-back role, is that your favourite position? That's where you like to be? That's where you're at your best?
Yeah, I would say that's my favourite position. But I think the Gaffer knows as well. But if the team needs me on the right-back, I'm going to play right-back.
Yeah, OK. Talk me about the first goal. Very important, wasn't it, for Liverpool to get the first goal in this game? How much work had gone into that on the training ground?
To be honest, 2 minutes. We did it twice. It was planned to be that Mo is playing me the ball, but when he plays with the left, it's not.
Oh wow!
Thank you very much.
Oh, the back. Keep hold of that. Keep that. Fantastic. So 2 minutes?
Yeah. Normally Mo should play me the ball, but for my right foot, it's better if Maka play me the ball, and it worked out. So hopefully next game we can do also something.
OK, you then get the penalty. Unfortunately, Liverpool didn't score from it. But there's a guy in the studio called Micah Richards. You know Big Meeks, or Slim Meeks at the moment. He said it was a dive. But we've got proof.
Yeah, we have
got proof. So we're going to give you a little bit of proof now. Have you got it? Yeah, Big Meeks. Keep it short, OK? So that, for me, was Liverpool's best performance this season. Big contrast from what we saw at the weekend against Tottenham. Why?
I don't know. I spoke after the Spurs game about it. I really don't know. But now I think we know that we are able to do this. And it shouldn't be a question that we do this every week, every game. And it doesn't matter if we play Champions League, 8 o'clock, lights on Anfield is amazing, but we have a long way to go until the end of the season in the Premier League as well, FA Cup as well. So we are on it, and we have to bring these performances every week, and for this we need the whole squad as well.
Two of the best midfielders in the world this season have been stuck playing a position they don't like to play in, Federico Valverde and Dominik Szoboszlai, right back. And when they move right back into the midfield, Grella, it's a whole different story.
High-level players, high-level technique, understanding of the spaces, the game, the technical moments, the composure. It's why you watch football, is to watch those types of players. And he changed the game. And he says himself they need to have more consistent performances. Obviously, the more he plays in his natural position, they're going to have more consistent performances. And I thought he was fantastic. And then him and Ekitike, I thought were awesome.
No, I agree.
Good on Liverpool. They've got Brighton at the weekend. They're still alive in the FA Cup, looking to make top 5 in the Prem. Perhaps the Champions League is the quickest way back into the Champions League next year by winning the tournament. So they've got PSG next. And the question is if Liverpool are back after this performance that we haven't seen in a long time. We've asked people online. 64% say no, Nigel. Only 36 say that Liverpool is back.
100% right. They're not back. They're not at the same level, high-level Liverpool that we saw from last season. Still loads of inconsistency. Defensively, they're not all there. They make individual errors. So I wouldn't say they're back. It's a great win today. But again, it's a poor Galatasaray side that we did say have been horrendous away from home, and they didn't let us down by being horrendous at Anfield.
Yeah, having players back from injury helps as well, though, right? Allowing Szoboszlai to go inside, having Frimpong at right back, again, gives you that natural balance, the pace that he brings in. I'm starting to believe a little bit more in Liverpool than probably I should.